children. Welcome to the Fan Expo here 2011. It is Friday the 26th. We are here with Tim Sullivan. We were just had the pleasure of seeing the first two segments of Chillerama, the new segment he is doing with Adam Green, Adam Rifkin, and Joe Lynch. We got to see Wadzilla was the first one, and the second one with this guy right here. It was I Was a Teenage Bear.
No, Jesus. I was a teenage bear.
Fuck's sakes.
That's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Why don't you give us a little bit of history about what's going on with Chillerama?
That just prove that Jesus is actually not it's not infallible.
Oh, absolutely not.
So every now and then you make a mistake.
All the time.
Like George Bush.
Not that often.
He was one of your mistakes.
Oh, I'm really sorry about that.
He was one of your dad's mistakes.
Exactly.
I always say it's always good to be in Texas, the state that killed our best president and gave birth to our worst. That did not go over well when I showed 2001 Maniacs in. I was actually there with Robert Englund. I said that to Dallas, and he sort of walked away from me. But yes, for those who are wondering, yes, Chillerama was conceived by me and Adam Rifkin when we were doing Detroit Rock City, which he directed and I produced. And we thought, wouldn't it be cool? We grew up loving monster movies, going to the drive-in. That was our church, the church of, the drive-in exploitation movie. And, this was years before Grindhouse, and we thought, wouldn't it be cool to have a movie take place at a drive-in where there was like 4 mini-movies playing, and we got 4 cool directors to do one, and he would do one, and I would do one. And then 2001 Maniacs came about, and I ended up doing that instead. But we always stayed true, and good things do happen in time. We met Adam Green and Joe Lynch here, where we realized we're just as sick and twisted and fucked up as we were. And it was sort of like, when you started bringing the apostles together, we finally felt that we had, the 4 apostles of Chillerama. So we were able to, finally make the movie. And it's definitely got this sort of zaniness and tribute to Detroit Rock City. Even like here, as you can see, this is the Comic-Con teaser poster, and that is the 4 of us directors, and it is definitely inspired. Whoops. Paul, would you mind holding this?
Certainly.
As you can see, this is definitely inspired by Detroit Rock City. It's actually by the same artist, and what I love is those bloggers who, this blogger said, you ripped off Detroit Rock City, and I was like, really? Oh, I had no clue. Bloggers. Don't you hate bloggers, Jesus? I mean, do you have that problem a lot where people are hating and you give a nice sermon on the mount and you talk about how the meek will inherit the earth, and somebody says, well, why the meek? Why not, the Pakistani inheriting the earth or something like that? Do you have that criticism a lot?
I don't really have that criticism most of the time because I don't have a microphone. People really can't hear me past the first 5.
That's right.
Like when they did The Life of Brian, they really nailed that right on the spot.
Yes. Get it? Nailed on the spot. But, yeah, and I also, you're lucky because if anybody criticizes one of your sermons, you can just zap them. You can just, boom, you're dead. You're out of there.
Straight to hell, buddy.
It's kind of tough. If I killed my haters and bloggers, I'd probably go to jail. But I just keep making movies, and, I don't let them get me down. But, so... do you think I'm going to hell for what you just saw, Werebears and Wadzilla?
Absolutely not. I think that actually got you a first-class ticket straight to heaven, my son.
Really? Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
I always felt God must have a sense of humor. He did invent Canada, and but which I love very much. We shot Detroit Rock City here, ironically, a movie about Detroit, shot in Canada, Toronto, about Kiss, and it was so great to show Chillerama, a little piece of Chillerama for the first time here, and I was really surprised and really touched actually because there's so much competition here between you and Robert Englund and that kid from Malfoy and Genie. I was really surprised. Half the people signing autographs I actually thought were dead, including yourself. I mean, I thought Larry Hagman had died like 2 years ago, but maybe that was Robert Culp or another one of those.
I think we just both have the power of resurrection.
Yes, but it's amazing. Like, these people have one foot on the autograph and the other in the grave. No, I'm just kidding. I dream of Genie. So I'm going, what the hell? This is what people expect from me, to be irreverent and stupid, and I'm hopefully being so. But it was really cool. There's a lot of competition, so I was like amazed that it was like packed. and people actually stayed through most of it, a couple of, and I don't know, Werebears, it can be a little not for everybody, but it seemed to go over well.
Absolutely.
And you said that you like musicals. Of course, there's one about you, Jesus Christ Superstar. I'm still waiting for the sequel.
Me too.
Jesus Christ Superstar 2, The Second Coming. When can we?
We were talking about doing pre-production on that maybe in 2052.
So then that's a really interesting tip for all you paying attention at home, because supposedly, according to the Mayan calendar, we are going to be dead in 2012. If you say that there's going to be a 2052, then you just gave us another 40 years.
Exactly.
Okay, so great. Thank God. All right, so good. There will be, we can look forward to that final installment of Twilight in 2012 after all. So anyway.
One thing I really wanted to ask is what brought on the musical aspect?
Well, I came out of the closet and suddenly I could write show tunes. It was this amazing thing, and I just figured I would put my newfound talent to use. But seriously, what happened was at the drive-in, it's all kinds of movies, and you would see the Incredible Melting Man along with, say, some Roger Corman Beach Blanket Bingo. But more importantly, when I was growing up, I mean, Grease was the word, between Happy Days and Grease and Saturday Night Fever. I mean, we loved that kind of stuff. And I just thought, let's do something different. Like Adam Green's Diary of Anne Frankenstein is in black and white, and Adam Rifkin's Wadzilla is, got giant monsters. So let's just do something completely different. And I also thought, it was originally intended to be a spoof of High School Musical, and I thought, let's just go for it. Let's just make it a musical, set it on the beach, have, a song like Hairspray, Little Shop of Horrors type of feel. And I honestly, I love rock and roll as much as I love music, but I can't write a note. I can't play a note, but somehow I wrote the song sort of like poems, and then I started I would think of a song like Dion, like I wonder why she loves me like I do, and then suddenly it became Love Bit Me on the Ass, so and I'll probably get sued like George Harrison got sued by the Shirelles or whatever for my. Did you ever hear that? It's about you. This is ridiculous. That song My Sweet Lord? It's
yes.
The Ronettes actually sued George Harrison. They said that my sweet Lord was He's So Fine, do-lang, do, and they won in 1972. I just invited myself to a bunch of lawsuits, but you can't get blood from a stone. You can from your head when you put crowns on it, but so anyway.
Absolutely. So are you guys still doing screenings around Canada right now?
Yeah, we're actually, if you guys get to see this, today's Friday, if you get to see this before Sunday, those of you who missed this can come back on Sunday, and we will be having a repeat performance at noon. And then we're hoping later on in the year, we begin our Chillerama Road Show. We're going to have an amazing screening September 15th, any of you out there, at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, where Bela Lugosi and Joey Ramone are buried. So how cool is that?
That's absolutely perfect.
I mean, I hope they rise from the dead, and just make an appearance. And then we kickstart a sort of a 3-month roadshow tour, hitting drive-ins and cemeteries and midnight movies across the world. And then finally on Blu-ray and DVD, Chillerama, November 29th, just in time for Christmas.
Awesome, man.
So as we pay homage to your birth and to Santa Claus's birth, we encourage people to also buy, don't download, buy Chillerama, support independent horror, pray to you, pray to God, support independent horror, or else we will be plagued to a world that only Michael Bay remakes are the only alternative for entertainment. So, yes.
And that is a world that
we don't want
live
that.
in.
Jesus, why did you make Michael Bay?
Well, you have to have a balance.
Whoop.
You can't exactly have all good in the world.
That's true. Yes, so in many ways, as Satan is to you, Michael Bay is to filmmakers of restraint and taste. Excellent. Excellent.
All right, man.
Excellent.
I'd like to thank you for your time, Tim.
Thank you,
so
Jesus.
much.
You healed.
I do.
Excellent.
We'll work on that tomorrow.
All right.
All right, man. You have a good one.
Okay,
Thanks a
you
lot.
nailed this interview, Jesus. Thanks a lot. Get that, work on that, Adam, work on the loincloth and the fig leaf.